Howdy, good morning. Some of you all know that I do Facebook
Get
Live.
your phone call, kid. Be the best you can be.
Crikey, phone call coming in.
Get your phone call.
Yeah, so sorry about that. It's Sunday, I shouldn't be at work. So I do Facebook Lives for a private business group on a Saturday at 2 o'clock. And we generally speak about, morning Kim, morning Vic. We generally speak about business related matters. And that's great because it is just about business. But if you know me for any length of time, you'd know that Sunday morning I normally put on a post about something that's not business related, shall we say, more spiritual kind of thing. And I mentioned yesterday about into the private Facebook group about business success habits. And one of the things that we were talking about was the habits of millionaires and journaling. And this is my journal, quite a thick book. And I started journaling on the basis that somebody said to me that you should journal. You should journal every morning or every evening, but do it on a regular basis. And the thing was, I didn't understand what it was I was supposed to be journaling about. So I thought that the way to journal was to just write down your thoughts and your emotions, your feelings. So if I look back at the stuff from a long time ago, a lot of the stuff that I was writing about was about stuff that happened during the day that was neither positive nor negative, but I just need to just dump it and get rid of it. So my journal was about stuff. It wasn't helping me particularly, but it was about stuff. And I know that some people, when they use their journal, they take the viewpoint that if they're healing, if they're coming from a point of grief, they use their journal to write down all the negative thoughts that have been happening, and then literally at the end of every week or every month, they burn it. So all your negative stuff that's happening in your life, you write it down, you get rid of it, you dump it out of your head, put it onto a piece of paper, and you burn it. So I thought that was a bit drastic, but I understand that the purpose behind that. So kind of the way I was going, as I say, was writing down in my journal the stuff that was happening either with work or home or whatever, and just write it down on paper so it's out of my head and carry on with work. And that's what I've been doing, thinking about that's the way you're supposed to be doing it. But then when I listen to all of these successful millionaires, successful people, and the way that they were using journals, they were using it a slightly different way. So for the last week or 10 days, I've changed the way that I journal. And what I do, I ask myself questions. I've got 9 questions that I ask myself. It doesn't have to be 9, it can be just 1 or 2. But the first question that I asked myself, I thought was relevant to even non-business related people. So my number 1 question is, what is my message to myself today? So I have to think about that, and then I write down what is the message that I want to tell myself today. So after about a week of doing this, changing the way that I journal in a more constructed way, at the end of the week I look back to the stuff that I've written down, and without having to write a whole paragraph and make it neat and tidy, because this is a private journal, obviously nobody else can read it, it's just for my benefit. So when I look back now over the first week of my answers to that number 1 question, what is my message to myself today? And when I read them all, it has a more positive slant than the negative vibes about these are all negative emotions, at the end of the month I'm all going to burn them. So I like this way of journaling a lot better than the way I did it before and the way that other people do it. So I'd suggest to you that if you do use a journal, make your number 1 question, what is your message to yourself today? And just by way of explaining how the benefit of that will be is that when I look back at just the answers to that question over a week, I've got 5 statements. I've got 5 absolute statements. So my message to myself, not just for today, is get refocused and keep moving forward. The universe is moving to bring everything together, both knowledge and people. And strange enough, on that day I had a connection that just moved my business just on immensely, and that was just appeared to be out of the blue. Just keep moving forward. Structure my day, my week, my month ahead for productivity, and don't let my mind wander, just focus on the prize. So when I read this journal back and just those statements from those last 5 days, that's a lot more positive than a couple of months ago when I was writing. The bank have said no, this guy's pulled out, this guy said he was going to do this and now he's not going to do this. That's all, well, it is all negative, and I put it down because I wanted it out of my head. But now that I'm not dealing with the negative, I'm just focused on the positive, I like this way of journaling better. So I suggest to you that find yourself a number of questions you can ask yourself on a regular basis. Make that be your journal and choose it to be positive. Make it help you. Speak to you again next Sunday. Bye now.